Hello everyone and welcome to Tabletop Tea Time on Don't Be Bored. This is the collaboration show where I invite other creators on to talk about games. Sometimes there's a topic and this time it's all about silly games. Let's see what some creators have picked. We'll pass over to Evan first.
Hey everybody, I'm Evan and today I'm going to show you a game that you have probably never heard of. So I have a question for you today. Can a game be both silly and immensely horrifying? Well, that's an answer I would like to know after I show you how to play Tooth Extraction Death Game. It's a game about pulling out your teeth and being the last one with teeth left in your mouth. But the teeth are really cute. Let's go down to the table and I'll show you how it works. So this is what a game of Tooth Extraction Death Game would look like set up for 3 players. Everyone gets one of these gum boards and fills it with 6 white teeth and 2 gold teeth. The white teeth have a value of 1 and the gold teeth have a value of 8, a tooth value of 8. You are dealt a hand of 6 tooth cards, and look at how adorable these teeth are. Come on now. They're so cute, right? Oh, anyway, and then 1 card goes to the discard pile. The goal of the game is basically to be the last one standing with teeth left in your mouth. And here's how it works. You're dealt a hand of 6 cards, and then you, on your turn, you draw a card either from the discard pile or from the deck. If you draw from the discard pile, you can draw as many of those cards as you want, but you have to draw them in the order that they had been played, the reverse order that they had been played. Or you can draw a top one and put it directly into your hand. If you draw from the discard pile, it does not go into your hand until the following round. Then after you've done your drawing, you then can play a run of cards. So in this case, if I draw the 24, it doesn't go to my hand, it goes off to the side. And then I can play the 4, the 5, and the 6. They are always played lowest to highest. So this is the new discard pile. This card gets added to my hand next time, which you can see I have around for next time. And then it goes around the table until, repeating that process, until someone has the number of teeth in their hand are 5 or less. At that case, you tap this card and you say, it's tooth extraction time. So everyone reveals their hands, and whoever has the lowest number of teeth in their hand does not have to pull any out this round. So if this was my hand and I had 4, and the next person had, let's say, 5, they would have to pull out 5 teeth out of their mouth, represented on this gum board. So that would be, so these are worth 8, so you'd pull 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the other person would do it, and then the next round would go. However, if you called for the tooth extraction and you are not the lowest, you have to pay a penalty of +5 for whatever your remaining teeth in your hand is. So, yeah, so there is player elimination, but I think it goes relatively quick. And then another thing is, starting in the second round, these tools come out, which are they're implant tools. So this one is if when you call for the extraction and you play the 34 card, which is the highest number in the deck, you are allowed to put a tooth from the bag back into your mouth, implant one back into your mouth. And these all kind of work the same way. If you play runs of 7, 8, 9, or 10, you're allowed to put teeth either back from the bag or back into your mouth from other players' mouths. So you're pulling teeth and implanting teeth. And yeah, that's basically the game. It goes until someone has no teeth, or until one person has teeth left. Tooth extraction death game based on the translation, which I should mention that there is no English in the rules. However, if you scan this QR code and then have like Google translate it for you, the rules are really easy to figure out. All right, so let's go back up to the top, and I'll tell you what I think about. And there you have it. There's Tooth Extraction Death Game. And it's actually a lot of fun to play, despite the grim theme. So, it's basically just a card shedding game, where you're trying to play runs of cards and get down to a certain number, and then hopefully, everyone in your hand has less teeth than you do. Otherwise, you have to play that penalty. But there is a couple of minor negatives I have. One is there can be a bit of randomness with the card draws, right? Because if someone draws a really good hand, and they can get rid of a run really quick, well, the game is going to end, pretty quickly. But you play multiple rounds, and it's not a long game to play, so if that happens, just reset and play again. Or just play the next round, and maybe you can come back, assuming you haven't lost all your teeth. And the other thing, the tools are really hard to use. If you're trying to get a bunch of cards to get a large run to try to come back and get some of the teeth implanted back into your mouth, well, and the other person is, or other people are trying to get rid of their cards and end the round as fast as possible, it kind of doesn't work. So you kind of have to get a feel for it. If other people are trying to get large runs, then maybe it's safe to get runs. But if you see someone shedding cards as quick as they possibly can, you do not want to hold on to any. But overall, yeah, it's a great game. It's really fun to play. It's quick. It's quirky. It's unique. It's got interesting pieces and interesting art because the teeth are cute, right? So, yeah, I would recommend this game. However, where are you going to find it? Well, there is Japanese retailers that if you use a forwarding service like World Shipping or Buyee, they can get a copy to you. That's how I ended up getting a copy. So, yeah, I guess that about wraps it up. So, is it silly? Or is it terrifying? Or is it both? All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their tea time. See you next time.
Yeah, so silly games. First off, I don't play as many silly games as I should, because whenever I've played a silly game, I almost always enjoy them. But when I think of silly games, I think of maybe lighter party-ish games. And I think that there is a lot of interesting mechanics and exploration being done there that it isn't necessarily talked about by more like serious board game designers. Obviously, there's lots of designers that design just silly games, but what do I mean by that? I think that what's cool about silly games is that they often explore very new territory that isn't explored at all in like heavier weight games. Often silly games are about, or they seem to be about, like finding new fun ways of interacting socially with one another. I'm thinking specifically of a silly game that I was introduced to recently by my friend. It's called a Fake Artist Goes to New York or something like that. And it's so clever and so simple. The idea is that each player has like a little pencil, and there is each player gets a prompt for the art piece that they're going to be working on together, except for one player who is the fake artist and doesn't get the prompt. So they're just kind of guessing. So what the players do is they pass around this pad of paper and they each take a turn drawing something on it to kind of contribute to the prompt that they've been given. And the fake artist tries to kind of follow along with that prompt as best they can, but they don't actually know what the prompt is. They're just guessing. And that situation leads to so many funny interactions where and so many funny strategies, because like you can try and expose the fake artist by, even if you're a real artist, you can try and expose the fake artist by drawing something really bland and general and kind of amorphous, but then other people might think you're the fake artist. And that's just one example of a silly game that I think really shows the best of what silly games have to offer, which is very unique social territory that isn't really explored. Some other examples, I've got Exploding Kittens. I think when I talk about Exploding Kittens to some of my more serious board game friends, they kind of roll their eyes at me, but I really think it's such a fun and clever game. I was listening to an interview with the people who designed Exploding Kittens. I think it was Exploding Kittens. And they said something that really stuck with me. They said that their company focuses not on designing interesting games, but on designing games that make your friends interesting, or give your friends a chance to be interesting for each other. And that is exactly what I think silly games offer. And the games themselves are not what's on the table. The game is what's going on between the players, because the thing that's going on at the table is just kind of a focus point for a new social, funny, silly social interaction. I think that there's kind of a subsection of silly games in the like apples to apples or Cards Against Humanity category, where some people just really love those games and other people just hate them. But it all fits in the same category, because what's fun about silly games is not the game itself; it's the memories and the jokes and the interactions that you have with your friends. That's kind of what I think a silly game brings to the table.
You'll see another video with Andy, who's just been on there on the channel soon, because I'll be doing a designer interview with him about his upcoming game Springsign. So check that out in the sort of the next week or so as that goes live. And well, my picks for the silly games. When I think of a silly game, and I struggled with my own topic for this one, but I often think of like a party game, one where you get and you can play in a silly-ish sort of mood with a group of people and have a good laugh. The first one that came to mind when I was staring quite blankly at my shelf was Snowman Dice. It's just an odd, silly little dice game. You are rolling these dice, you're trying to stack effectively 3 dice on top of each other, with legs, a middle and then a head, and you're trying to do that before anyone else rolls like a snowball, which means they can flick it across the table and try and knock your snowman down. Once you've got your snowman built, you've got to slowly, or you can try and do it fast, but it'll probably fall over, slowly push your stacked 3 dice snowman across the table to the flagpole for the North Pole that's in the middle of the table. It's just silly good fun, and the fact that it comes in this sort of snowball-like baggy thing, with, you know, zipped up, and then you've got all the dice and stuff inside. It's just silly fun, and, well, you know, Christmassy sort of games are definitely a vibe that I like, so Snowman Dice is one. The other one that came to mind, which we always have a lot of fun over, which is one that you can trip yourself up on, and that is Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. You play this game, you're going to know that order, because you have to be saying it, and it's effectively like a glorified Snap, but with a few extra things that make you do things that look a bit silly. And there's different versions of the game that do different things. So in this one, for instance, if you play the gorilla card, you've actually got to be a gorilla, and then you put your hand into the middle fastest, and you're trying to not be last effectively, because then you'll grab all the cards. But if one of those special cards doesn't come up, you are just playing a card. The first person says taco, plays it. If it's that, well, it's the hand slapping funness. If it's not, it's the next player. So taco's gone first. Cat, Maybe you've played something, you've played a pizza, but you've put your hand down, oh, you're incorrect. It's just one of those silly, quick sort of party games. And in the silliness is that fun, the fact you'll stumble across things, you will put your hand into the middle when it's supposed to be a taco, but it's been like a cat or a goat that's been played. You'll have seen one of the special cards be played, like Narwhal, but you'll have forgotten which one you're doing, and all of a sudden you're doing the groundhog, which is knocking on the table, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the complete wrong animal. And different things. It's just silly, good fun. So that is taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. And back this month is the Spotlight Creator segment, where I interview a fellow creator who's come on to answer some rapid fire questions, and this time it's the lovable duo of Better Half Reviews. So let's pass over to Alison and Bryce to introduce themselves and their channel.
Hey Oliver, thanks so much for letting us be a guest host on your channel. I'm Allison.
I'm Bryce.
And we're Better Half Reviews. And so just to tell you a little bit about our channel, well, we love board games, so this was our avenue to talk about it. We're over on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. He helps with being part of some of the filming and everything, sometimes. And I do most of the content creation, and take pictures and junk and stuff. But yeah.
She's awesome.
We get pretty silly when we're together, though.
Always.
Always. And forever.
Silliness is always good, so you shouldn't certainly let that slide. And let's dive deeper. What is your favourite game and your favourite mechanism?
For me, I'm too afraid to commit to saying what my favorite game is right now because I kind of need to take stock. So one of my favorite games is Lost Ruins of Arnak. I've really enjoyed this one because it's thematic and it kind of looks like Indiana Jones in a board game box, and there's a lot of fun things to it with a little bit of deck building and worker placement and managing your resources. So it's just really fun, like trying to do as much as you can with the limited amount of time that you have, and it looks beautiful. And it includes one of my favorite mechanisms, which is worker placement. So I really like taking my meeples and putting them somewhere and gaining things, and I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. And I feel like there's a lot of worker placement games that are available, so I've got a lot to choose from.
I'm actually very surprised you didn't pick Wonderland's War.
I thought about it, but it's big and heavy and it's up there. It's one of my other favorites, so.
And my favorite, at least I'm like Allison, right now I've been calling this my favorite, and it's a good game, but it might change. But is Clank in Space.
It's a little dusty, actually.
It's okay. We might not have played it for a while. But this also has one of my favorite mechanisms, which is deck building. And I like just being able to take a standard deck of like cards, whatever that game has, and just see how differently you can build it and play it from everybody else. And, just kind of create your own style.
Yeah.
So I enjoy deck building and Clank in Space.
And this one has a little bit more of a board game feel to it, which actually got me more interested into deck building types of games, because it felt more board gamey compared to other deck builders.
True, you weren't a huge on like Dominion or anything. And Dominion was fine, but I do like this where you're trying to deck build and race and do other things instead of just purely deck building.
Yeah, good option.
Two fantastic mechanics. I personally also love deck building, and particularly worker placement. It's just so satisfying, right? When you put that thing out and you get something and you can work it through logically. I really like those. And you know what? Not bad picks for your favourite games either. Now, for a fun one, what game has the best meeples in it?
So Allison, what game has the best meeple?
This is a very hard choice for me because I almost picked Everdell because there's tons of different meeples and they are really cool looking, lots of different colors, but I had to go with a more cute option. So Keep the Heroes Out has like some of the most adorable meeples, like this little Cthulhu, but everything in this game, it's just cute and adorable, and the meeples are chunky. Little witches, little ghosts, little slimes that can defend themselves by cutting in half and multiplying, and little imps and skeletons. And there's an expansion now that has even more adorable meeples. So this was kind of an easy pick for me. But like a close second would be Everdell because there's so many cute little critters. But yeah.
Man, I totally agree with you on Keep the Heroes Out. Love the meeples in it. I, for some reason, blanked on this and was like, Mariposas, because they have butterfleeples. And I was just like stuck with that.
Yep.
So that was the only thing I thought of. But
Well, because it's butterflies, and then way back in the day we filmed a review for it, and he coined the term butterfleeples.
I don't know if I coined it.
I
don't know.
had never heard anyone call it that. And it was
true.
kind of fun, so yeah.
I hadn't heard anybody call it that, but I don't know. Coining a term seems a little extreme.
I thought it was an interesting choice, but
yeah,
saying butterfleeples makes up for it.
maybe that's why I like it so much, is because I just
Probably.
yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say Wonderland's War. I'm just kidding.
Oh, some great looking meeples there, some great choices. And the rapid fire questions continue. What was the last game that you both played?
Alright, so for the game that we played last, we played one last night for a playthrough. So this is Restart. It's a current Kickstarter game, so this is a prototype from Teetotum Games. And we played this, well, you've played it a couple times, I've played it more.
twice.
But yeah, we played it last night and filmed a playthrough. We won't spoil who won. But yeah, so this is a really fun game. It's got a little bit of everything. Tile laying,
Yeah, I was gonna say it
worker
has a lot
placement,
going on.
set collecting, resource management.
Betting and dice rolling. And
Well, yeah, there's different scenarios. So like one's push your luck, one's like a blank and right, one
Yeah.
is like moving around and trying to like vote, and yeah.
a lot of different mechanisms, that's for sure.
But it's pretty fun.
It is.
Yeah, there you go.
Go check it out.
That's very ahead of the times with a 2025 release hitting your table this year. So, what other hobbies outside of board gaming do you have?
What's a hobby?
Things people do for fun besides working.
People do something other than work?
Sometimes they sleep.
Oh, I
That
do
could be a
that.
hobby. Napping. Okay, so hobbies, besides board gaming, of course.
I don't think that's possible, but
I do like to read, and I like to write sometimes, and do like artsy things like drawing or painting and stuff.
yeah, you've recently gotten back into like drawing and stuff.
Yeah, I've been trying out
Doing a lot.
digital art, and that's been kind of fun to do. Still learning, very not great at it, but it's fun.
I would say over the last year, I've gotten a lot, or gotten into exercising a lot more. So I'll go on lots of walks and some hikes and running, and
Even when it's over 100 degrees out.
well, I try to wait till like the middle of the night. In that case, and it's still over 90, but
Yeah.
it's a little better.
And then I don't know if you would say like adjacent. You've been playing D&D and been getting into that.
That's true.
It's not technically board game. It's different.
It's
So.
close.
But anyway.
But yes, I've been getting into D&D. I've had an ongoing campaign with a couple of friends for over a year now.
Look at you.
Yeah. Year and a few months.
Yep. Nice.
Finding time is, well, a challenge within the hobby, let alone when you try and do other things. And a D&D campaign that's lasted over a year? Well, a round of applause for managing that. I always find they sort of either die out quite quickly or they do manage to rumble on. So carry on enjoying that one. Now, what can people expect to see on your channel over the next couple of weeks or month, that sort of time?
So coming up on our channel, we actually, by the time that you're watching this, it's like this will have just come out recently, the playthrough of it. You can go watch us be a little bit silly. And then we're going to do a review of the Rolling Realms Redux. This has, 12? Yeah, 12 new realms in it. Like, I really like Rolling Realms, so we got sent this one. Now you can put all of it together.
Allison's the planner, so I'm learning this for the first time. So
And then, did you know about this? I'm going to be doing a review of this one, Don't Go In There, by R2I Games, and we're going to do a giveaway, which I need to launch that
I
soon.
was going to say, no, we've had that for a while.
Yeah, they sent us another copy to do for a giveaway
Oh,
and to
cool.
do a review of.
Awesome.
Stay in the Halloween spirit. And then, since it's also October. A friend and I finished playing this, and so we're going to do a review. The op sent this to us, the Harry Potter Hogwarts battle. And that's got deck building in it.
It does, yeah. I got to see you guys play it. I didn't get to play it yet, so.
Yeah, this is a really good like intro to deck building game, I would say. And there's lots of other things that'll be coming up soon, but the games are buried. So like First in Flight and Genotype from Got Genius Games, I believe. But yeah, lots of things coming if I get around to it, which I should. I'm the planner, but I'm also not good at planning, so that's also an issue.
Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on and being the spotlight creator for the month on Tabletop Tea Time. And, well, just so everyone can go and check you out again, what was your channel name?
So thanks again, Oliver, for having us on. We are Better Half Reviews at Instagram, YouTube, all the other places that she signs up for. So give us a like, follow, subscribe, whatever. Come talk to us.
We like
She'll
talking
respond.
about board gaming. Alright, I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce.
We're Better Have Reviews.
Happy gaming. Have fun.
Hey, that's my phrase.
And, well, that about wraps us up here on this month's episode. So go and check out previous months. Go and check out all of the creators that have been on today's show. Links will be in the description box downstairs, so you can go and check them out. And as you're subscribing to my channel, you can go and check theirs out and subscribe to theirs as well. And, well, until next month, have a fantastic month gaming.